fact, don't tell anyone, but it is illegal for you to look up or Google how to make a bomb on Google because you'll get a SWAT team sent to your house almost immediately. No joke. But if you try it, you try it. I hold no responsibility.
But what if you're trying to make bomb chicken?
How to make bomb chicken? But you just end that bomb. Google will know that you it'll auto guess that you're gonna say chicken, but you just stop at bomb and enter and see what happens.
I'm afraid to check. No, I'm afraid to check. It's like,
yeah. So SWAT teams can literally show up at your house if you were to search up how to make a bomb. So try to be smart about it and educate yourself through literature. Instead, go look up encyclopedias. Go look up encyclopedias on how to make a bomb.
I think young people don't even know how to use encyclopedias anymore.
Oh man, there's a lot of things that young people are incapable of doing compared to the older generation. Just kind of.
I don't blame them. I blame us. I blame us. Yes.
Young people, I got a question for you. How many of you have power drills?
I have a drill, but
I'm just saying.
not a power drill. Anyways, so my fun fact.
That's a innuendo for Cola's penis.
I just don't have the motor. I just have the bits. Anyways, so my fun fact. Did you know that turtles can breathe through their butts? You didn't know that? That's turtle power, baby. That's turtle power.
That is fun. That is fun. I know. That's how they swim through those strong currents, man. That's jet propulsion right there. You know. So now I can't watch Finding Nemo the same way anymore.
It's like, okay, it's not the jets.
Fucking squad of turtles are just farting in my face this whole time. Damn, that sucks. I mean, that's awesome, but it sucks if you're in the water and just like this bitch. Don't ever let a turtle swim in front of you.
Yes, they're slow on land for obvious reasons, but fast underwater.
So they're kicking up the sand because they don't want to know they're farting in the sand. That's my feet, man. Don't worry about it. So, on to today's topic. We're going to talk about all the times that we had to apologize in public. All right. So, Cola, why don't you go first? Oh, you got nothing? Well, you just got scammed. That's our actual topic for today. How many times have we been lied to or scammed in public?
I think growing up was a big scam because my mom lied to me about everything.
Yeah.
I think the biggest personal thing that happened to me is like going to a bar and having a gorgeous woman come up to you, have a conversation with you, only for you to buy her a drink, and then have her disappear.
Before you even hand your credit card to the bartender, he's just already grabbed the drink.
Yeah, I've been guilty of getting people, strangers, drinks. So, I mean, have you done that before yet? Have you done that? No.
I also, well, no, not that, but I realized later on, afterwards, in hindsight, I was given free drinks, but I didn't realize that people could slip things into your drink.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's also like a big concern too.
Yeah, so I accepted them wholeheartedly, and I was just like, "Oh, thanks, man." So I could have gotten scammed, but luckily I was taken care of in a group, so we were good. That would have been the ride of my life, though.
But yeah, I think I was completely. I remember like just having this gorgeous woman come up to me and talk to me in conversation, and like in my head, I was like, "You're too gorgeous to be talking to me," and stuff like that. And there was one time I was.
Cause if you were ugly, I'd accept it.
I think it would be a lot more genuine. It was like, you know what, you got to be kidding me right now. This is bullshit. I think.
But if they were handing them off in groups, like to groups of people, I would accept it. I feel like peer pressure is valid there.
Yeah, it's like, I think this is like my younger 20s when I was doing that. But it's like, and after a while, you just like, it's like, forget it. I was like, I remember I think I was at an age where like, you figured it out. And then it's like, I called out somebody on it. And I was like, fuck this shit. Called her out on it. Huh?
So what happened?
I think she was trying to like, it's like, no, I think you're okay. It's like, right. And that guy over there is not your boyfriend. Get the fuck out of here.
I still bought her the drink though. She did show me a titty, so I bought her that drink.
I mean, for like I'll buy for like group things like that. I don't mind doing that, but like if you're gonna be like just preying on people like that, I think it's a bad thing. So you just can't be preying on people like that. Yeah, I think that's more like a personal scam thing. But it's like if you just think about it, that's definitely a scam. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like now I just don't trust. I just don't trust strangers coming up to me and asking me for certain things. Like, forget it. I was like, even when you're traveling, there's a lot of that travel scams. When it's like when you're going around, people are trying to sell you like souvenirs and stuff like that. It's most definitely a scam. I remember in Thailand, I was walking through a thing, and I saw this whole pigeon just hanging around. I was just walking, and I was just like staring and looking at it, and then this Thai woman, like she throws a bag of seeds at me, right, and tells me to pay for it. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. No, she actually sprinkled a little seed in my hand, and then gives me the whole bag, and it's like, hey, you gotta pay now. You can't be doing that. I was like, oh man. I was like, first of all, how do you know I'm a tourist? Mm-hmm. First of all, I should never be carrying a camera around.
Is there? Yeah, I got married.
Oh no!
Damn. I'm sorry, baby.
Now it comes out. I think we're already a few.
The biggest scam ever is definitely when your parents tell me, if you just tell me the truth.
Oh, that's a
like, fuck that shit. Because my mom, she had the feather duster behind her back, and she was telling me that was the wind. Don't worry about it. Some parents were so fast like that you could not register what was happening. It's like they almost made you believe that it was the wind. That's
a good scam. That's a good scam. I guess we've been scammed all our lives, and we just don't realize it.
That is the truth of tough parenting. It's just, they teach you early on how you can get tricked.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like those are pertinent lessons to learn growing up. Let's see, what good scams have I been a part of? It was definitely, there's times when people are just so subtle about things, and sometimes when they're not so subtle, but you're maybe just inexperienced. This was a combination of both. I actually got scammed at my job because there was some people that were, I was an administrative staff, and also I was like doing purchasing for like supplies. So I was not in charge of I wasn't in charge of the payment accounts or anything, but I was in charge of purchasing regular stuff. So I got a call from the I got a call from a company that claimed to be providing for our work printer, like the toner. So they use like keywords saying like, "Oh, we're calling in regards to your whatever account." So making it feel like it's more official, because you were just like, "Okay, well, you're talking about my account," and they're just like, "Are you ready? It seems like you're ready to reorder your supply. Do you want to go ahead and do that?" And it was a simple yes or no. So I just kind of like, "Okay, yeah, we do need it. So just bring it in." So I didn't think much of it until corporate called me asking me, was I the one that accepted this? And I told them yeah, because it was just like a very quick exchange. So, we didn't have to do much outside of that. But it turns out that they charged my work about 6 times the price of regular toner. So it was like, it went from like, I don't know, like $60 to like $480 for one toner. So we're just like, what is this? And I just said, oh, okay, well, sorry, I didn't know. And then, so my my corporate offices had to call this company back and just redemand that they give us a refund, and we have to ship them back the product at their expense. But it's so trippy how they use semantics and certain words to make it seem like it's an official thing. So these people still kept calling, but now it's just, I immediately flip to the question, is this with this company? And then almost immediately they hang up because they know they're being called out.
Yeah, I guess they have they didn't.
Yeah.
Did they have the corporate card on them, or did they? Is this a company? This wasn't a random company.
No, they didn't. No, they just made phone calls. Yeah, it was a random company that just made phone calls. So, this over the phone scams, they're some of them can get pretty tricky. I'm not gonna say like they're all the smartest ones, but I happen to have fallen for this one, and this is due to my inexperience too.
Yeah, I think the thing is like if somebody, for me, it's like I'm more worried about like if somebody's calling me for something instead of me calling them for something, then it's definitely a scam. If somebody's calling you for something, I think even if with my dentist, like I remember them calling me and asking me for my social security card number, and I wouldn't give that out over the phone. So I just showed up to the thing you just gave out over there and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I don't mess around with the phones because you never know who's calling. You never know. Like I don't even pick up the phones anymore because of those scammer calls and stuff that they can even like trick the number looking like it's from your area,
yeah,
and stuff like that.
Touching on that idea a little bit, I actually encountered a scam at work that was unintentional, but it was a really big thing for me. And it was that one of the managers at my work was collecting information.
Yes, I remember you telling me about this
everyone.
one. Yeah, I remember you telling me about this one.
In terms of filling out the employee roster. So I was like, okay, that's cool. It's not a big... Yeah, so it wasn't a big deal. But this manager was asking for phone numbers, addresses, and such, and I thought that was a little weird, and they were also asking for social security numbers. And I said, when they came up and asked me, I said, no, I don't want to give that number because I'm very uncomfortable with that. I don't think that that's necessary information when...
It's for credit cards.
When I applied for the job, they already had the information. So there's no need to ask for it again. And I don't know what's going to be used. I don't know what's going to be used for. Yeah. So it was weird to me. So I just said, no, that's fine. You don't have to get that information from me. If the CEO of the company has a problem with me not giving that information, he can come to me himself. So when that happened, this man managed to collect every employee's social security number but mine. And so he tried to call me out in the meeting saying like, well, Walker's not cooperating with us. So can you explain to him? We were in a meeting with the CEO and he said, can you explain how we need his information for this roster? And when the attention was brought up between, this was in a management meeting too. So when they brought me into it, the CEO looked at us and he said, "Why are you collecting everyone's social security numbers?" And to that, the manager replied, "Because it's for their roster."
Whoa.
And the CEO explained, "No, I don't need that information. There's no reason to be asking for it." And so from that on, it was so bad too, because everyone's social security numbers were on display on the roster. And so I'm glad I stuck to my guns on that. People who are listening, trust your gut in terms of handing out your information. Challenge it if you feel that it's wrong. But are there any other scams you've been a part of, Cola?
This is one thing I learned. I was like, cars. I think mentioned it a few times on this thing, but cars, everything about them. I think
everything
the
about
way you buy them, the way you have to register them all the time, get them smog. But like buying a new car, I think is probably the biggest scam ever. And then the other thing is like, you know how you can buy cars online. Apparently the biggest car, Kelley Blue Books, all that system of pricing cars and stuff like that is all rigged for because there's I forgot what car company, but they're a huge car company that sells used cars. So what happened? This used company that sells used cars bought Kelley Blue Books. They're inflating the prices on Kelley Blue Books. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people like to do their price checking with Kelley Blue Books, but they don't realize that the prices for the used cars are inflated. So yeah.
Oh wow! You mean my Honda Fit sells for over $20?
But like, so yeah, because of that, like a lot of people can adjust the markets to fit their needs.
Mm-hmm.
So if this car company that's selling used cars or selling, has a lot of like, let's say a whole bunch of like Hondas and stuff like that, they can manipulate the market price on it by changing the price on Kelley Blue Books. So yeah, so I definitely don't trust anything that's online with pricing of cars and stuff like that. So I mean, it's very volatile, and like new cars now are designed they're designed to fail within 5 years. Transmission CVT, that's bullshit.
Well, the other thing is, how much money can you spend on repairing the technology inside your car right now? For those of you who own a vehicle after the year 2018, how much can you afford for your sensors, on your parking sensors and your braking sensors once they go out?
Yeah,
thousands of dollars in just a single sensor alone.
So yeah.
So
yeah,
I feel like DMV and registration fees are definitely one. Why do I have to pay $100-something to keep my vehicle that I purchased 30 years ago? Like, it still has registration fees. It's just a little weird to me. I get it. You can track the cars, but it's an old vehicle. I think you'd be able to point it out at this point in time. Like I'm not gonna get camouflaged in a sea of Teslas. I'll tell you that. In my old truck.
Oh, is it because you had to go to the DMV recently to register in your name?
Yeah. Oh no. It's just a general thing, you know. Emissions are definitely weird to me, but every state has its own set of regulations on emissions.
Private.
I think one scam I got scammed in privately. Well, just because I was a struggling college student and I was trying to be a good person, and it was one of those things where just some person who was by himself came up and asked me like, "Hey, I'm really in need of help. Do you think you can?"
Is this the one in San Francisco?
No.
Oh. It's like they gave you a whole story about them having gas and they drive to Sacramento.
Driving what?
Driving to Sacramento and I need gas and I need to pick up. It's like, shit, no. Yeah. No, it's in San Francisco. It's like they do it to tourists all the time.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I think it might be relevant to that scam, actually.
Yeah.
It was got like could have been a person in just in a different area that I was in. So it was pretty much similar to that. They were just asking for money, but it wasn't anything incremental. It was like $20. So I'm just like, okay, fine. $20, you know, at least I get this off my conscience if it really is someone in need. But, you know, obviously I don't know for sure if that person was genuine or not. I just kind of did it to clear my own conscience. And, you know, that's becoming less and less of a thing nowadays, for sure. It's just more like we're being programmed to ignore people in need now, almost. Because, you know, it's hard to give money to like homeless people because
yeah, you definitely don't want to get taken advantage of and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah.
For me, like I rarely give out money to strangers. I'll give out food. Give out food.
You have to switch up your currency in that regard. You know, it's like, well, okay, you know, if you're really that hungry, I'll get you a meal. You know.
The last time I gave somebody food, he's like, "No, I'm alright. I already ate." I'm like, I looked at him, I'm like, "You motherfucker." I had like, I was at an event. I had like 2 sandwiches I stole from the event and put in my backpack. And this guy is like, this guy was asking me for money. It's like, so I walk around and stuff like that. And then it's like, this homeless guy is asking for money. And it's like, oh, can I get a couple of dollars? Like, no, I don't have a couple of dollars, but I have a sandwich. He's like, no, I already ate. I'm like, all right. Don't. It's like, you motherfucker.
I think it's really fucked up when there's people that pose as homeless people. Like there's people that are like middle class or whatever, and they're just out begging for money. And then they actually do make a good living off of begging for money. And I think that's really tragic when it takes away from actual homeless people.
Yeah. So this, did you see? There was one woman who was driving in a BMW. You see that one? This is the one that's like,
oh my god, no,
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah,
I have not seen that one.
in,
That sounds ridiculous.
This one was in our area. It was in a pretty wealthy neighborhood too. She was asking money for in a wealthy neighborhood. So, but somebody decided to like watch her and follow her, and she went straight to the mall parking lot and she drove off on the BMW.
Let's see. I have a scam story that is not me, but involves someone I knew.
Is that a Nigerian prince?
And it takes
supposedly
yes.
somebody.
It turns out that it's my long lost brother. Which explains my penis, you know. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot. That's 2 inches of fury right there. I'm sorry, I can't escape a podcast without a dick joke. It normalizes me. It's like nourishment.
Shut up.
Give me that dick. Or it's just like how I am with cola. I don't know. It's how we grew up. Anyways, so this takes place in another country. Not gonna say where, but it's an old acquaintance. He just got married, and he was going to spend his honeymoon in his wife's native country. And so they were taking a tour around the country. It's just normal behavior. I think they were both born in America, so it was just. This is just my speculation of it. They're both born in America, for the most part, because they speak really good English. So when they went to her home country, they were taking a tour around the area in a taxi, and the taxi hits an old man, and the whole old man goes into a coma. And with that, they were chasing down the person responsible, and the person responsible wasn't actually the taxi driver; it was them, the passengers.
A couple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
it was so weird because the family of the old man was chasing down the acquaintance and his wife, as then wife. So they caught up to them, and they're just like, no, we're not letting you go until you pay for everything. So the family actually held them captive in the country, and when they couldn't be released, and they had to get help from the U.S. Embassy in order to actually like leave the country safely. And not only that, the family of the old man also had relatives in their hometown or their home state. So they basically extorted him for as much money as possible. And it was a third world country-ish. So the bill to hospitalize the old man was maybe about like $8,000 for the entire time. But it also made me think, like, wow, it's $8,000 to take care of a person in a coma and keep them alive for, I think it was like half a year. But they extorted a good amount of money out of them. I thought that was really tragic, but I thought that was kind of crazy that something like that can happen in a foreign country.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's like you hear stories of it, but it's just when it's actually happening, you're just like thinking there's so much more details being unfurled as it's going along, and it's just like, wow, how'd they even get it to the legal point where you had to pay them? So I thought that was a crazy scam, because the fact is it happened, but the country itself got it forced the couple in a way to where they had to pay. They had to pay and be responsible in place of the taxi service. Because normally you would charge the company, but no, they just went straight for the passenger stuff.
And you won't tell us the country? You won't tell us the country? All right.
I'll inform it to you after, but watch your backs when you're in another country. You might think that you're invincible or you'd be okay, but just stay smart and understand that when you're in another country, your rights are completely different than they are here.